designers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kerri. On my channel, I love to share different ways that you can make money with your Cricut machine. And one unique way that I've never talked about before is by making custom hats. You can use heat transfer vinyl just like you would on a shirt, but on a hat. Heat pressing a curved surface like a hat can be pretty tricky, which is why HTVRont has recently come out with their new hat heat press. They sent me one that I can test out on my YouTube channel. I used to have a pair of matching hats with my daughter that said Mama and Minnie that we loved and wore all the time. But my daughter has grown up so much that her old kid's hat doesn't fit anymore. I thought that this hat heat press would be perfect for making us some new Mommy and Me hats. Before we move over to Cricut Design Space, let's unbox this hat heat press by HTVRont and see what's inside. We've got a user manual. Inside of here. It's kind of squishy. This looks like a bag to store it in. And that's everything inside of the box. Let's go over the materials that you'll need to make your own custom hats. Obviously, you'll need a hat. But what type of hats should I use? I wasn't sure which type of hats I should buy, so I went on Etsy and Amazon to see what the best sellers were. This hat right here is a Richardson Original 112 adjustable trucker hat and is currently selling for $7.98. This one over here is called a Yupoong Classic retro trucker hat and is listed at $15.14 for a 2-pack. So that comes out to $7.57 each. It's a little bit cheaper because you have to buy 2 at a time. They're almost the same price and they're nearly identical looking. The only real difference I noticed was the threading on the brim. On the Richardson hat, the threading is black so you can see it more. On the Yupoong, the threading is gray like the rest of the hat so you really can't see it. If I was going to sell these hats, I think I would go with the Yupoong because they have so many different color options compared to the Richardson, and they're a little bit cheaper. You'll also need a cutting machine like a Cricut or a Silhouette. I'll be using my Cricut Maker for this project. But you can make custom hats with any Cricut machine, even the Cricut Joy, because the design is nice and small. You'll also need a vinyl trimmer or scissors to cut out your vinyl, and a purple strong grip mat to stick your vinyl to. You'll also need some heat transfer vinyl. But what type of heat transfer vinyl should I use on a hat? Not all heat transfer vinyls are the same, and certain types of HTV will work better on hats than others. I would recommend going with a thicker type of HTV like glitter, flock, or puff. All of these types of vinyls have some thickness to them that will help them when heat pressing over a seam. Puff vinyl can be tricky to work with. It requires a lot of pressure and just the right time and temperature to puff upright, otherwise it gets wrinkly. So that type of vinyl might be a little more challenging to work with, but still doable. I would recommend starting out with glitter or flocked HTV. I'm going to be using some black glitter HTV by HTVRont on our hats today. Before we move over to Cricut Design Space, I need to download the font that I want to use from Creative Fabrica. I don't pay for Cricut Access, I get all of my fonts and designs from Creative Fabrica. They're cheaper, the fonts and designs come with a commercial license, which you need if you want to sell your projects, and their collection of fonts and designs is better than anywhere else. If you don't have a subscription yet, you can sign up for a free 1-month trial with the link down below in my video description. They do have an amazing deal going on right now where you can sign up for a whole year of unlimited downloads for only $47. So I personally wouldn't wait and I would scoop up that deal before it's gone. I want to use a font called Rustic Brown Font. Once you have the subscription, all you have to do is click the big green download button. Now we're going to click on text and type in Mama, and then I'm going to make another text box that says Minnie. Now I need to measure my hat to figure out how big I want to make this design. I want my designs to be 4 inches wide. So I can go right up here and click 4, enter, and then same with this. Right now you can see that Minnie is taller than Mama. Mama is only 1 inch and Minnie is 1.43 inches. So I want to shrink that down so it's about the same size. That way they look like they're matching when they're side by side. You want the fonts to be about the same size. There, that looks better. Now all we have to do is go over and click Make It. Since I'm working with a heat transfer vinyl, I need to mirror my image. Then click Continue. Now we need to select our material. I'm going to be using glitter heat transfer vinyl. So if you go over to Browse All Materials, you can search for glitter. Then select Glitter Iron-On and Done. And I'm going to change the pressure to more just so I can be sure that it cuts all the way through. Now I'm going to cut out a strip of vinyl that's about 1.5 inches high by 7.5 inches wide. You'll see that one side of the vinyl is shiny and smooth and then the other side is not. You want to place it shiny side down in the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Then use your scraper to smooth it onto the mat. Now we can load it into our Cricut machine. Slide it under the 2 tabs and click the blinking double arrow. And the blinking Cricut button to begin the cut. I always fast forward through this part. Now we can unload our mat by pressing the blinking double arrow. And now it's time to weed our project. This is scrap. I'm going to save this. So I just screwed up and I cut off the M, but that's okay. We can still fix that. All right, let's put this over one of our hats and see how it looks. What do you guys think? Is that a good size or should I make it bigger?
I think it's a good size, Kerri.
Before we heat press this with the hat heat press, we need to use thermal tape to tape this to our hat so it doesn't move around while we try to heat press it. This is what thermal tape looks like. I forgot to mention it in our materials needed for this project earlier. Tape this together first. See, we all make mistakes, but mistakes are fixable. According to the instructions that came with this glitter heat transfer vinyl, it says you should heat press it between 300 and 320 degrees. So I'm going to do it at, let's say, 315, nice happy medium. So power it on, and then you push this little sun button to set it, and then raise the temperature to 315. And then push it again. And this is how many seconds you want to heat press it for, which is good. And now it's going to start counting up. So we have these two pieces. You want to take this little loop and loop it around here. And then on the other side, there's another loop. And we want to do the same thing here. Then you want to take your hat and place it on like this. Actually, let's take the paper out of the inside first. So we're going to slide it on the back. Nice and snug. You can see that our sun turned to green, so we know it's ready. So now we can put it over our vinyl and push the power button for 2 seconds, and that will make the countdown begin. Now while this one cools, I'm going to heat press the other one. Now let's peel off the cover sheet. What do you think, guys? How did those look?
Really good, Kerri. You're the best. We love you.
This hat press was really easy to use. I'm so excited to make more new hats. Let's try it on. I gotta tighten it. I love how these hats came out. I'm so excited to have matching mommy and me hats again. We love wearing our hats, especially in the summer when we go fishing into Six Flags. If you're interested in purchasing one of these new hat heat presses by HTVRont, you can save 20% off through the link down below in my video description. The official price of the hat heat press is $79.99, but with my 20% off discount, you can buy it for $63.99. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would love it if you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.